All right, thanks for tuning in to Leading Forecast. And again, this one's going to be a primary focus on Debby, but we are going to cover a couple other topics as well here with the weather. Let's go on over. This is the current position of Debby right here. You can see 29.0 north, 85.2 west, and that was as of 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Max sustained winds right now at 45 miles per hour, and movement is northeast at 5 miles per hour. If you remember, the first time we did this storm track was all the way over this area, going directly west. And we talked about how it could totally change and go the other direction, and that's exactly what it's done. And, again, just kind of showing you the complications with forecasting hurricanes. Anyways, we could talk about that all day. Let's go on over. This is the current water vapor map. You can see this is the real bright greens here. That's a blow up of convection here. What's really weakened Debby right now is you can see all this dry air out across the midsection of the country. That started to work its way into the Gulf here. We were, a couple of days ago, we had quite a bit of moisture sitting out here, and that was really helping keep Debby alive and continuing to grow. But as this moisture kind of worked its way in, we weren't sure that if it would or wouldn't. As that dry air worked its way in, hurricanes can't suck in dry air, tropical storms, whatever you want to say, and survive or strengthen that well. And as it did pull in that drier air into the center of circulation, it really started to die out, and that's why we went from 60 mile per hour sustained winds down to 45 now. But that doesn't mean that we are out of the woods yet. Here's the forecast model spread, and you can see now pretty much all of them taking it off from across Florida and off the East Coast here. Some of them actually taking it more up the East Coast here. We'll have to wait and see. That's going to be question will be, again, we'll talk about that trough that's sitting up here in a second. If it gets pulled up by that thing, it could actually make a run up the East Coast, but we'll have to wait and see. Here's that trough. We'll zoom in on this, and no, we won't because you can't see the trough. The trough is actually on this side of the map here, and actually you probably can, but that's what we're watching, this little dip right here. And we're having issues getting some guidance on this because there's a high out here that we thought Debby would catch and run around. Well, it didn't do that because the high is too far west. There's this trough sitting right in here, and it's still too far north, so it can't catch the trough and run northward. So that's why it's just meandering. It's just sitting out there doing absolutely nothing. We have no steering winds for the storm. And so in a way, I guess that's good. It allowed it to kind of die and allowed some of that drier air to build in. All right, tropical storm warnings in effect east of Pensacola here, down all the way towards St. Pete. Those are along the Gulf side of Florida. Those are the tropical storm warnings in effect. But the big thing is going to be the severe weather. In fact, you can see the slight risk right here down across Florida. That's for tornadoes. In fact, we do have a tornado watch in effect all the way from the Florida-Georgia line all the way down to just north of Miami here. That goes until 11 p.m. tonight. That's Eastern time for some of those storms. In fact, we can pull this kind of up here, and you can see those storms that are going on. There's that deep blow-up of convection. That's all those showers and thunderstorms that are going up. But right now down south, we're pretty clear, even though we are under that tornado watch. But this afternoon, as things destabilize, things become a little bit more volatile in the atmosphere, that's when we could start to see more thunderstorms blow up and maybe spawn tornadoes. Another big thing is going to be rainfall. In fact, you can see some of these places here expecting above 8 inches. I wouldn't be surprised to see some places get a foot plus here, north of Lake Okeechobee, north of Tampa, and then on up to southern Georgia here. Some of you guys will get a lot of rain and already have gotten a lot of rain. All right, let's go on over to the forecast models quickly. This is as we get into later today. Here's Debby down here. Here's a big high sitting across the northern portion of the country, and that's really blocking all this from any kind of rain or anything coming down. You can see a few spotty showers and thunderstorms getting going around the high. And all your main shower activity is off on the East Coast, and again, some severe weather out there. In fact, Richmond, Virginia has been under a tornado warning here for a little while. As we get into Tuesday, here's that high coming through. Here's Debby sitting down here again. Here's another low coming through Canada, draping a front down as it scoots across the plains. As we get into Wednesday, this is Debby, still not quite making landfall, still meandering out there. It hasn't, it's still waiting to kind of get caught up in this trough that's sitting out here. Then as we get into Friday, Debby getting ready probably to make, or I'm sorry, late Thursday, this is Debby probably will make landfall here, hopefully by the weekend. It may end up, happening sooner. Some of the models suggesting that, which wouldn't surprise me. And then as we get into Friday, finally, here's Debby. It's coming across Florida, starting to make over to the East Coast here. Rain and showers and thunderstorms come across the Midwest. I don't believe that. I don't think we're going to see any kind of rain in this area this weekend. I would be very, very surprised. If you look at the European model, not happening. Just going to be hot. Going on over this as we get in Sunday, here comes Debby up the East Coast. The Euro model brings a big storm just off the East Coast here. In fact, a decent potential hurricane, according to the Euro model. Again, showing those showers and thunderstorms out across the Great Lakes, Midwest region. I don't think that's going to happen. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be spotty at best. So, anyways, we'll keep an eye on Debby as this does start to move off to the east and eventually probably up the East Coast. The question will be, will this affect Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina? I think the question as far as tides and storm surge, I think that the answer is absolutely yes. But the big question will be how much wind, how big does it get, how much rain does it bring in along the East Coast. So anyways, that's all I have for the day. Stay safe out there. Again, if you're in Richmond, Virginia area, take shelter. And if you're down in Florida, just be prepared. You are under that tornado watch until later on tonight. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joseph Cooper. You can view this on SwiftChaseTeam.com or right here on YouTube.